I could have just ordered delivery. You just spent most of that on... I did. That's how I spent the other half. By the time chat reminded me that I had committed to eating Wendy's breakfast this morning, I absolutely had started stream. And Amber was not in a place where she was able to go get it for me. So I had it Uber Eats. I ordered more food than my entire family could eat. And then just tipped like a lottery winner. And that was enough to spend the $50 that well, most of the $50 that Glitch gave me yesterday. I have to be hungry to eat the breakfast baconator and one other sandwich and not touch the potatoes. Yeah, the potatoes are pretty tasty, so I'm erring on the side of eating the potatoes and not muscling up another sandwich. Why do the tears not pierce them? It feels as though they should. El Pablo, good morning. Yeah, that's if we do a 9-hour day today. If we do a 9-hour day today, then we really just need a handful of hours from here on out.
Hematemesis.
Oh, I shouldn't have risked that. Bad trip would have... I mean, I said would have fucked this run up, but who knows. Load me up with pedestrian passive items. Thank you, game. Yeah, Racer. Amber gets real clinched up about the idea of the boys coming into their own with their appetites. Our boys, to some extent right now, kind of eat like hen-pecking birds. But man, oh man, once they truly lean into puberty, man, it'll be something to see, I think. I remember how much food I ate. I remember my mom getting mad at me because I trucked a gallon of milk in a day. I couldn't understand why she was so pissed. I was like, what is it here for if not to be consumed? And now I kind of like have a better understanding of, you know, what she meant. Man, that's got secret room written all over it. Huh. I mean, I didn't drink it in a single sitting. But just like, for whatever reason that day, milk sounded really good to me. So, like, with every meal, I'd have like 2 big pint glasses, and that was basically enough to do it in. It was just that she bought a gallon of milk, and 24 hours later it was gone. But I was also in training for football, and I was like going out and swimming, and hiking and stuff. Thank you, Timon. You as well. Right. Oh, right. Milk costs money, and there's more people than just me in this house. I get it now. I didn't get it then. Well, we now have 120 volt and are faster. Just give me Nod Leaf. Fuck you, man! Still a pretty good run. I just like 120 volt.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
I didn't mean to scream that. I just get very frustrated with this particular character. Because I get like married to certain builds, and then when they go away, I feel very sad. Continuum's great for this build. I don't know what I was expecting to happen. I kind of just forgot that one of them was a bomb spider. My kid had a day where every time I saw him, he was either heading into the kitchen or walking out chewing. After a full day of grazing, he wanted to know when dinner was. I don't know. Obviously, at some point, especially if we get my kids introduced to sports and athletics, then yeah, they're gonna need the calories. But right now, like, genuinely, my sons both kind of henpeck. So there's a part of me that, like, as somebody who was like 185 pounds of gym muscle in high school, I'm like looking forward to that happening to them, so that we have something something that relates us to one another, you know? But at the rate things are going, I might just have 2 string beans. Kyler, tier 1, 11 months. You and Kirby apparently have more in common than you ever knew. Kyler, thank you so much for the resub. Good, like, oh god. You want to hear a parent's nightmare? I'll tell you, I've told this story before, but you know, people churn, so I have no idea who's heard it. My poor mother. Both of these things happen within like the same 6-month window. My poor mom, one day during football two-a-days, I came into my mom with about 5 other offensive players and said, "Hey mom, didn't you just buy a big ass thing of steaks from Costco?" And she said, yes. And I said, "Is there any chance we could all do steak and eggs for breakfast? We're on two-a-days, and we're both we're all of us insanely hungry." Well, my mom's nickname in the city was Mama Caps because she just wouldn't let any kid go hungry. So I showed up and dropped most of the offensive line in my mom's lap and said, "Please make us all steak and eggs." And my sweet dear mother said yes. I want to go back and check out the shop now. Probably not 2 months later for the homecoming meal. Kids were volunteering their parents to do things. I volunteered my mom to make enough beef brisket to feed the entire football team and their guests. I basically said, "Oh, if you guys like food, then you'll love my mom's brisket. She'll make enough for everybody." Wait, what? Oh, that's great, isn't it? Hold on. Birthright for Eden means I keep what I have, I think. So, like, everything I get after this point will swap. But everything I have up until now stays. Items taken before Birthright no longer get re-rolled. Ooh, baby, that's a solid base. I wish I'd gotten whatever, well, I mean, I say I wish I'd gotten whatever was in here. I wish I'd picked up, like, health. I wish I'd picked up whatever the other side of this fight is, I wish I'd grabbed. But still, that's a huge pickup. Yeah, to be a teenager again and have no idea how much stuff costs. My mom, I think, ended up making 8 briskets that in, you know, 1998 costs like between $20 and $30 per brisket. You know what? I'm not gonna give up the health. I'm genuinely concerned about giving up the health, so we'll just leave it be, I guess. Dude Spanking Dude says I'm saying, oh no, because of how much all that costs. Yeah. I just knew that my mom's cooking made me proud. That it was based in, she did it because it was based in a place of pride. You know, she would always say things like, imagine if Rory or Grayson came to me and said, Dad, I volunteered you to cook a meal for our class. Why did you do such a thing? Well, because I think you're one of the best chefs on the planet. And I'm like, oh, well, now how do I even stay mad at that? And it was the same thing here where you were exactly right. I was a teenager who had no idea how much shit cost. And I just knew that I knew people would like my mom's brisket. So I volunteered her to make brisket enough for an entire football team and their guests. And so she did like 8 or 9 briskets. In 1998 dollars, they were at like 20 bucks a piece, 20, 30 bucks a pop. So she ended up spending like 120 or 140 dollars on beef. And it really wasn't until she was like, honey, I'm gonna do this for you because I love you, but holy shit. She's like, you're absolutely doing every chore we ever asked you to do and never questioning us ever again. She started marching receipts in front of me, and I was like, oh, what have I done? Like, I had a pretty good idea that I had done fucked up. I had a pretty good idea of how bad I'd messed up when she started marching basically grocery store receipts that looked like CVS receipts in front of me. You done fucked up, Aaron. It was good. Yeah, Dude's Spanking Dudes, the brisket, surprise, surprise. All these other moms brought in like potato salad and stuff like that. And surprise, surprise, the smoked beef brisket that was fork tender was the first thing gone. When they found out that Mama Caps was making beef brisket for everybody. That was the first. She had those like aluminum foil steamer trays, catering trays. First thing gone. Which I know to this day, like, you know, listen, we replenished the money. At the very least, you know, the thing that is forever out of that was the fact that she gets the ego stroke of a lot of people brought in food, but the first thing gone was the delicious smoked meat that she created for everybody. Oh, Diagonal Runabout. If I can recommend that you track down a Wendy's that does 24-hour breakfast and get yourself a breakfast Baconator, that will make sure that you never feel hungry again, it would appear. I mean, like, you still gotta eat the potato wedges before they get cold. But I have a friend who's good enough at grilling that people pay him money to barbecue for events and holidays. He made 4 briskets for some people at Thanksgiving the past week, and the cheapest one he could find was for 80 bucks. Beef is so fucking expensive right now, Tupac. My mom, in pre-pandemic times, my mom and I'm sure she and I, well, I mean, it depends on the fucking Omicron or Omega strain. Depends on what it does. But my mom and I used to talk to each other on the phone when we'd grocery shop. And since we haven't really been able to do that recently, what we do instead is she just, like, whenever something noteworthy happens during her grocery shopping experience, she just takes a photo and sends it to me. She's at a place in Idaho called Fred Meyer, which I think is basically Mountain West Kroger, if I'm not mistaken. She went to a place called Fred Meyer. I need this key, damn it. Strength. Don't juggle my shit. I like this build, even with the base. I think it's gonna be how I hold on to health, or at least try to get some health. Yeah, so she was shopping one day and she took a photograph of a big brisket that she found that was $112. And I was just like, what in the world, man? 64-bit robot, welcome back. Pandemic. Pandemic expenses, Synecdoche. I'm sure Thanksgiving's not helping right now either. But beef prices during the pandemic have just skyrocketed. OG Ness, welcome back. Tainted Eden's interesting. Well, I'm feeling fortunate right now that we managed to pick up Birthright in our first, like, shop where we had some money.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
So everything behind Sty is locked in place. I wish I had locked Sty in place, but all things being equal, if we can just figure out how to make health stick around, we should be okay. Aaron, thank you for the gifted tier 1 sub to 64-bit robot. Yeah, Planetary Vision, I genuinely adore the Red Rooms. I get, like, serious FOMO for most of my runs just because exactly what you said. Like, how often do I really get to interact with them? And it's a real buzzkill. Like, I genuinely kind of try to forget they exist so I don't feel bummed out that I almost never get to go be a part of all the good, weird shit happening in the background. Don't be bad trip.
Relax.
Big old farts.
Relax.
Even before the pandemic, formerly cheap cuts were going up in price because they were becoming super popular. Yeah, hanger steaks. Holy shit. Hanger steaks used to be such a well-kept secret. It's such a stringy, tough cut of meat if you didn't cook it right. But if you did do it right, you know, you would create something truly special. And now hanger steaks are one of the hardest to get cuts. Flank steak used to be something that was really easy to get a hold of, and now flank steak's super expensive. Yeah, brisket, skirt steak, tri-tip, hanger steak, flank steak. All that stuff used to be really easy to get a hold of for the most part. Used to be the cheap and inexpensive cuts, the carne asada of all the cuts. I feel like this makes the most sense. Because anything I pick up is going to get rolled. And while I like having items to roll into, especially shop items, especially passive shop items, because those items become like... I can't risk these being bad trip. Shop items can re-roll into maps, can re-roll into compass, stuff like that. But I just feel like Holy Card and another key are gonna serve me better.
Rules card.
Shit. 7-10 split. Imagine Tainted Eden starting with Birthright. I'd be so pissed. That would be like table flipping levels of pissed. Maybe Red Keys could have a chance of showing up as an extra item in shops or something. I mean, like, we could... The thing that I've stopped doing, Diagonal, is I've stopped daydreaming about how the game could be pulled together better. Because honestly, like, I feel like doing a lot of that has led to some of the... I'm dealing with it, I'm coping with it, but like the resentment that I was feeling about how, you know, Edmund and Nicholas were handling the things that I felt like were untenable about Isaac. I feel like it, you know, to daydream about how it could be fixed or done better is to sort of set yourself up for frustration, so I just don't do that. Yeah, 64-bit robot, that's a recent patch. The only patch. I had a beef farmer client who was supposed to bring me some farm fresh cuts of steaks as a gift for doing his taxes this year, and the fucker never followed through. There's also... Oh. Left hand? Do I left hand it? I think I left hand it. I need you to not hit me. I definitely think I left-handed. If I get Guppy, I don't think it might cycle me out of the items, but I don't think it takes Guppy away from me. I was watching stories today about how the 2008 recession kept Christmas tree farmers from planting trees, so there's a huge Christmas tree shortage this year that's not even totally pandemic related. Yo, why don't you back off, jack off? Whew! Scurry. I think I'm good. I know Taffy doesn't run mods, but I had to ask. It seems like such a good quality of life I'd never expected to be added. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I don't mod stuff. If you're playing Isaac or Darkest Dungeon, if you're playing something like Isaac or Darkest Dungeon or something along those lines, and the first thing that happens when I show up is you have to explain the game to me all over again, I kind of check out.
The stars.
Ugh. Why are banks so stupid? Lisa, what have they done to you? Do you want me to fight banks? I'll fight banks.
This is
Valny's
the
with
story
a gifted tier
of
1
the
sub to
newest
Hessian.
denizen of the cave.
Valny's, thank you so much. Items that crash the game and Isaac are funny. Hemolacria is a great source of comedy. I guess. The thing that gets me is that... Oh no. Well, Holy Card did what it was supposed to do. Thank you, Holy Card. Fuck me, Ryan. You big dumb idiot. I guess we got some money out of it. You guys done? I feel like I was gonna say something. Oh, it'd be funnier, like, you know, items breaking the game would be funnier, but like a lot of stuff that breaks the game now worked in worked in Afterbirth. Trisagion finally feels like it's worth using. Like, I'll actually pick it up on purpose. But every time I pick up Trisagion, the first thing I think is, oh, this is gonna crash my game. So there are items now that as a streamer, it's frustrating. Good items that are off limits because they might bring your game crashing down. And the ones that existed beforehand didn't do that before. I took $60 from my account because supposedly my brother filed a dispute to a Cash App transaction. He was literally sitting next to me when it happened. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Knock wood. I mean, like, I don't want to jinx this, but I've been lucky enough that, like, Amber has been the victim of some pretty intense fraud that we've managed to catch. But I've felt very fortunate that I have not been on the receiving end of, like, identity theft or bank fraud. Yeah, as a non-streamer, I also would avoid items that crash my game. It's such a headache when you're like trying to pull together runs for content, then all of a sudden you realize that you're gonna have to like scum save every couple of rooms because you got a build that, like, you know, 12 months ago existed and the game ran just fine, but now with Repentance, you know, will bring the entire thing crashing down. It is hugely disappointing. If I can get Guppy before it. Dude, if that cycles into 9 lives, I'll be super mad at myself. Hey, Bluffy, what's going on, bud? You ever not get an entire sentence out of your mouth before the worst case scenario of it happened? If I can manage to not get hit, he seemed to say out loud. Motherfucker. Oh, I have curse die. No more left hand either. Yeah, it's all kind of by the wayside now. Hit me. Thank you. I'm so bad. I'm not trying to be bad on purpose. It's just kind of my thing, I guess. Yeah, lots of health, though. I don't want to get dinged twice. Well, I don't have to get dinged twice. That doesn't count anymore? I could have been going to curse rooms this whole time? Is that fixed, or was it always that way? I don't believe in a million years that used to be that way. I feel like it used to happen no matter what damage you took. Is that a patch fix? Oh, I didn't realize that. That obviously changes things. I could have been doing this run a lot differently if I had realized that. I can't blame anybody but myself for not reading the patch notes. I can't blame anyone but me. But yeah, that clearly changes how I play Tainted Eden. Get juggled, you big dummy. Scary. Ooh. There was a random spider just chilling. I'm gonna go back and get some red heart health, I guess. Yeah, I need to, like, instead of paying Purge to, tutor me in Dota, I need to just pay Purge every time there, well, I mean, I say pay Purge every time there's an Isaac patch, like there will be another. But, let's say, for argument's sake, there's another Isaac patch one day. Be like, hey, Purge, I'll give you $500 if you just come read the patch notes to me. For the sake of argument, let's say they roll out any other patches. Let's be gleefully naive with one another. Yeah, Purge would be great. I would love that. I can't go back and get Clicker. That is a fool's errand. Down we go. Potato wedges are seasoned nicely. I'm starting to come around a little bit on kidney stone. If it didn't take so long to charge, it puts you in a real precarious situation if you really need it. People repeatedly saying, let's say, makes me have cringe flashbacks to like a traumatic, let's say, experience. I'm not trying to like be the trigger. I'm just saying, did you have like a, you were an altar boy and there was a Catholic priest who was like, let's say you follow me back here to get this stuff into this quiet room? I had more than one soul heart. Hey, look who it is again. Man, I'm gonna pick that. I'm gonna pick that up, and it's gonna turn into 9 lives, and all that red heart health that I had is just gonna go away. For a little bit, it's at least flight. Just hate when people abuse, let's say, in arguments. Was I doing that out of curiosity? That's a new one. I've not heard that one before. I'm like the modern day version of like the internet bartender, so I hear like a little bit of everything from everyone at some point in time or another. I'll say the one that gets me recently, the one that irritates me is people who say let that sink in. You know? It used to be that was reserved. It used to be that let that sink in was reserved for like mind-blowing thought bombs that were gonna forever alter the way you perceive the world. And now it kind of feels like, you know, you say stuff that at this point is kind of commonplace or accepted. Where it's like, oh, a brisket in 1998 used to cost $30. Let that sink in. It's like, I don't need to. I get it. Like, I get it. Beef's already more expensive because of the natural occurrence of inflation, but it's also super expensive because of the pandemic and supply chain issues. No, I got it. I feel like I understand it in its entirety. Devil's Advocate, yeah, that was Rad Ripper's favorite thing. Whenever the one time, and even then, I don't think that he would admit being caught now. But the one time that we caught him in an actively terrible fucking take, which was when COVID was much more localized and was just getting started. When COVID was just getting started, Rad Ripper was the one who was like, it's basically the flu. And then a couple of months later, it was like, hey, 6 figures people have died since this thing came out. It's super aggressive. And it's gonna kill hundreds of thousands more. And it is definitely not the flu. I pointed out to him how fucking terrible that take was when he was saying something else where he was just like, well, in my expert opinion. And I was like, well, the last time you offered up an expert opinion, it was fucking wrong, so you'll excuse me if I don't listen to you this time. And he was like, well, I mean, I didn't, you know, inherently believe that. I was just playing the devil's advocate. And I was like, I feel like you're only playing the devil's advocate now, or you're claiming devil's advocate now because you were so fucking wrong.
Isaac.
Oh, this is gonna be a slog.
Isaac.
With you in a second.
Isaac.
Oh, goddamn! I have to pay attention to this. Because I never know when one of these things is gonna freak out and just come right at me. Or I'm gonna have to leave the safety of the middle of the room and risk being hand slapped because there are a bunch of enemies. Because there are a bunch of enemies and Mom's foot comes down and takes away the relative safety of the center of the room. I always hate agree to disagree because it means I'm not going to listen to your argument anymore. Yes, I've shut down diplomatic argumentation, and we're just going to agree that we are never going to be able to make each other see eye to eye. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Yes. Psychon, I'm not even reading that out loud. Yeah, Lab Tech, like all of us are on the same page with that, but this was and again, I don't want to just jump on shitting on that dude because he sucked. He's no longer here, and the only reason we're thinking about him at all is because of that Twitter exchange that he chose to have with me. I didn't go find him. Much like when he was still welcomed in this channel, I didn't find him and look for his opinion. He found me and chose to share it. Yeah, anyway, that was the last time that was the first time I really felt like I had a true truer understanding of what Devil's Advocate has morphed into. In that Devil's Advocate has morphed into, well, I was just trying to be a socially acceptable asshole. It used to mean, well, for the sake of, you know, seeing every side of a subject. Let me throw out the alternatives, or the polar opposite of what you're saying. But it's really just morphed into, I kind of wanted to be a dick. Apologies to anyone else named Preston, but goddamn does that guy act like a Preston. I just don't go on Twitter, it's great. I have to for work. I don't go on Facebook anymore. Ever since I realized that there was once it really was made clear to me that Facebook truly was just the old person's platform for social media. Once Facebook truly inherited the earth as being the old person's social media platform, I abandoned Facebook altogether. There was no profit in being on Facebook as a streamer, so I just stopped going there. But otherwise, you know, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. It is legitimately it is virtually impossible to not be on those platforms and do this for a living. Maybe not absolutely impossible, but virtually impossible for sure. Spectrehead, what's going on? The runs have been okay, I guess. Saturday is Saturday. It's always this weird sort of amalgam of motherfucker. Okay, now we're this. I didn't realize that thing jumped. Has that thing always jumped? Has Blastocyst always done the Monstro leap? That feels new to me. Yeah, I was gonna say, Blastocyst is normally, in my experience, I feel like Blastocyst is always kind of a just chill wherever it lands kind of monster. I don't think, like, my muscle memory did not tell me. My muscle memory did not tell me that I needed to be aware of that. Taffy, it's no longer called Facebook, it's called Meta. I don't give a shit. You could rename a dirigible, it doesn't mean I'm getting on one tomorrow. Matters not to me. It's not called dirigible anymore, Taffy, it's called a transportation blimp. I don't give a shit. I'm not getting on one. On your chode. On your fucking gooch. And at that point you realize your gooch is connected to everything you do. And it is very hard. It is very hard to do much of anything that does not involve your devil's driveway being actively engaged. I want to talk to you because chat is both fun and funny. Don't tell chat I said that. They'll let it go to their head. I like hanging out with you guys, but if I look away from the screen for a second while combat's going on... then this game's gonna make things, difficult for me. Like, baby... well, it's better than what I got. Yeah, misdirected, I'll be honest with you. I heard, when we raided Brizzy the other day, he asked how my Gooch was doing, and I was like, man, I need to... Like, I know I live near a city called Goochland. I live near a city called Goochland, so it's never really that far from my mind, honestly. But I don't incorporate it in nearly enough day-to-day activity. There we go. I've never heard the phrase Devil's Driveway. I don't know where, I want to say it was like a stand-up comedian I heard use that recently. The old Devil's Driveway. That was meant for Messenger. Yeah, Birth from Cheese. Well, now we know you're leaving us. And I hope you know how disappointed the rest of chat is, not to mention your streamer. You've overplayed your hand. I always laugh when I drive past Goochland. I used to laugh a lot more back during funnier times. It used to be it was just a city with a funny sounding name, but now it's like once you get a little ways outside of Richmond, it becomes like hardcore MAGA country. And it's like it's almost like driving through like you know, hostile territory. It's the kind of place where you get real hopeful that you're not gonna like break down. Like, please God, let me have enough gas and enough air in my tires to get home. My girlfriend had never heard the terms gooch or taint before she started dating me. Lucky girl. Yo, question. Does telepathy for dummies also create a slowdown effect now? Because if so, that is a tremendous upgrade. I am not nearly strong enough, I don't think, to do delirium. Probably never heard that phrase because I'm Jewish and Jews don't have Satan/devil. I'm almost certain that just like that was gifted to me by stand-up comics. Does Sarah McLachlan's song Angel play when you drive by Goochland now? I feel bad because there's stuff that I like out there. There's a legitimate drive-in that when Amber and I were trying to find something safe to do with the boys before they started getting their shots, when Amber and I were looking for something to like safe to do with the boys oh god damn it, what the hell, curse eye again, neat. Yeah, when Amber and I were looking for something safe to do with the boys, there was a drive-in out there, which was amazing. We got to go see Free Guy. It was the first movie the boys had seen in 2 years. And it was very clean, and it was very, like, family-friendly and age-appropriate, and, like, it wasn't in, like, a seedy area or anything like that. It was out in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by trees and crickets and cicadas and shit like that. It was beautiful, really. A really dope barbecue place that both Justin and I enjoy is out there. I just feel weird because like when the pretzel people came into town, we went to that barbecue place. Oh, that was little Solioli guy. When the pretzel folks came through, we went out to that barbecue place, and I felt very weird being in Goochland with a bunch of tattooed friends and like people with colored hair. It was like walking out of a punk concert directly into a library that was having a Bible meeting. find like a big room to put down this card against humanity. I was genuinely pretty pleased about having a chariot card, but I have pissed that away. Maybe. Hey, I don't know why there's an item in there. But it's an item that might keep us sort of grounded until I get hit again. Genuinely miss, what's the word I'm looking for? Telepathy for Dummies. If they gave that book a slowing effect, that's way better than what it was before. I think that's our big room. Oh, that's my creep. I was like, damn, dude, this creep is all over the place, and I don't even know what's making it. There we go. Let's try it. I don't know what exactly I want out of it. The noise is therapeutic. I like it a lot. Maybe we get money equals power on the next floor. Something. Yeah, the world is a weird place right now. Where stuff that we either thought or hoped was like well in our rear view mirror. Everything from fucking everything from flat earthers to fucking Holocaust deniers suddenly exist again. Or at least, you know, if they always existed, which is also very much a possibility. Suddenly we've got people that we thought were not people that we just assumed couldn't possibly exist because there weren't people that dumb out there anymore. And over the last several years now, we've got, like, those folks have found each other and are bounding out of the woodworks because they have the internet and a platform. Yeah, birds aren't real, dogs can't look up, Holocaust deniers, anti-vaxxers, flat earthers. Omicron's gonna be something I can feel it. People keep thinking that ignoring it's gonna work, and it's really not going to. I hope it's understated. I'm not gonna shock anybody with my hot take. I'm tired of COVID. Hey, Tappy, where did you find the strength to be so brave? The world's always been a weird place. It's always something. That's what I get out of talking to my grandparents anyway. I ultimately, was it somebody on Reddit today linked, it's like a YouTube video where a dude from MIT said that he thinks society's gonna collapse by 2040. And then somebody's response to that was, hey, here's a list of doomsday predictions throughout the history of the existence of mankind. Then it's always like, yeah, based on what we know now, mate. Okay, pretty dumb way to take damage. You know, based on what we know now, yeah, things might get funky, but you just never know what's right around the corner. You never know what kind of scientific innovation or discovery is gonna just literally change the game. In most cases, it's not so much stupidity as a desperate coping mechanism for the overwhelming portions of life. Also, birds are definitely not real. That's my favorite one. I will say this: it does seem to be people since my youth. I've kind of reached a point where I'm okay knowing that there's a lot of stuff that I'm just never gonna know. You know what I mean? Like, Taffy, what happens after you die? I don't know, man. I'll find out when I get there, I guess. Taffy, what's beyond space? I don't know. I'll probably never know. Is there life in other parts of the solar system? No idea. And I will die without knowing. You know, Tappy, when's COVID gonna be something that we've reined in and gotten past? No idea. No idea. May just be here. Who knows? May not. But there are some people I think that, like, I don't like to pin it down to religion. I don't like to pin it down to religion, but it's the first place where I feel like I encountered this sort of ideology as a kid. The people who have been told that they should be certain that they understand everything. You know what I mean? Like the people who feel as though they're the people who feel as though they've been told the answers to everything. You know what I mean? That uncertainty, that like to be uncertain is an admission that other things that you may not know, you know, other things that you've been certain about in life may not be true. And so I feel like there are some folks who get real, it's the same thing with like, well, the old days were the good days. And it's like, well, you weren't even alive during, you know, I wish I could have lived in the 1800s. No, I wish I could have lived in the 1800s. That way, if I got in a fight with somebody over like poker, I could have just shot him. Like my dad wanted to be Wyatt Earp, basically, because he was convinced that like, oh well, it was better then. I feel like it's people who feel like they have to, if they accept that there are bigger forces that play out in the world that they may not even possibly comprehend, even as they go into the ground. All the way back to the cavemen, you know? That was the allegory of the cave. It's the allegory of the cave. It's just people trying to take a world filled with millions and millions of variables and unknowns and put it in a neat little box where things fit. And for the people who don't do well with the enormity of the world outside the box. The people who don't do well with the enormity of just like, yeah, it's really, this is never gonna fit in your box. It's also the title of my sex tape. I can't talk to you while this very quiet room is happening. But yeah, there are some people who feel like they have to feel as though they know the answers. And if you start to tell them that some of their answers is wrong, it potentially could create a psychological domino effect where all of their answers could be wrong, and they're super not okay with accepting that. And so you get, you know, people like fucking Rad Ripper who just march in and say, well, I know how vasectomies are supposed to happen. I know what happens inside the mind of somebody who's assaulted. I know how bad COVID is and is going to be. And it's like, no, you don't. You fucking don't. You just don't. And that's okay. It's okay not to know. Yeah, the 1800s where we die at the ripe old age of 37. I think it's even worse when people find out they're wrong and dig right into being wrong, just reject learning outright so that they don't have to be wrong. Yeah, that ties into it. If you were a decently wealthy, rich white man in the 18th century, the world would have been for you. To be completely fair, dude spanking dudes, the 21st century is an awesome time to be a decently wealthy, rich white man. Yeah, fuzzy shadows look real good. Definitely want that. Wyatt Earp, yeah, Wyatt Earp was John Wayne was one of his Wyatt Earp pallbearers. Wyatt Earp pallbearers. Oh, Tom Mix, actor Tom Mix. Sorry, I don't know why I said fucking John Wayne. H.J. Hunsaker, Arizona Territory diarist George Parsons, former mayor of Tombstone, and newspaper editor John Clum, actor William S. Hart, playwright Wilson Meisner, and actor Tom Mix. He died. He died during the Great Depression. Well, I guess he died at the end of the Roaring '20s. Yeah, I was gonna say Tom Mix is still a name that gets batted around today. I'm not gonna claim that, you know, people should know that name, but Tom Mix was really well known at the time. But yeah, I mean, you know, Wyatt Earp died in his 80s in 1929. A vasectomy is reversible with great effort. They tell you that it is, but they also tell you that it is a difficult process. It is a difficult process to cancel out, and that you should consider it permanent when you've done it. The thing about anti-Semitism mentioned earlier is it comes in waves. It never really goes away. It just gets quieter for a bit with current conspiracies. The Jewish space laser. I will say, Speed Boop, you weren't here at the time, but my Jewish friends in this channel, we had quite the giggle at the Jewish space laser. It's infuriating, but that didn't stop it from also being a little bit funny. As we all eye rolled and just kind of leaned our heads on each other's shoulders. Oh, I should have read further. The Jewish space laser, bro, I want a space laser. It sounds cool. To groups like the Proud Boys who call themselves Goyim, the Jewish word for non-Jews used by anti-Semitic groups. Baklandica. ASMR girls suck. They banned from chat. I don't know. That's your first message? They aren't. To be totally honest, I'm looking for a good new ASMR channel, so if you guys find one, not only are they welcome here, but I'd like to know where they are. There was a great ASMR channel that I used to go to that wasn't sexualized. It was just awesome ASMR, and it was all the sounds that made me feel like tingly in my gut and tired. It was an Irish girl who lived in Canada. I've since forgotten her name, but she doesn't stream anymore, so I guess it doesn't really matter. There was an Irish girl who was living in Canada who used to do like tarot card readings and just like brushes on paper. None of it was like the farting on microphone sexualized stuff. That it, you know, to each their own, but it's not my bag. But yeah, this one girl did like the perfect mixture of like, you know, obviously quiet whispering and then like fingers on like fingernails on card back and like when she was shuffling tarot decks and stuff like that. It was all just the right noises that genuinely would put me to sleep in my chair. And now I was bummed out because she stopped streaming. She was a partner Twitch streamer. It was I didn't realize this. All those noises were like huge like relaxation and sleep triggers for me. I would close my eyes. I mean, like, again, she's doing all this, you know, in like flannel shirts and stuff. It wasn't like none of it was sexualized. But she'd do all that stuff, and I would lean back and close my eyes and literally fall asleep in my office. I miss that. I've heard real mixed things about Amaranth. I've never met her. I've seen her. Like, I've been at cons at the same time as her. I don't have any real takes on her. Not that my opinion would matter fuck all to her, and it shouldn't. She's making a fortune doing what she's doing. I've heard some people say that, you know, person to person, that she's very kind, and I've had some people say that they've had real negative encounters with her. So I reserve the right to wait until I have some sort of interaction of my own, I guess. I feel like I should probably go do more rooms. I feel like I need more items. I find it funny too, my Hanukkah present for my mom is a miniature space laser pointer for our cats. First night of Hanukkah, yesterday? Tonight? I know it's soon. Hanukkah is nigh. I enjoy making up conspiracy theories that are just flat out stupid and blatantly a lie, like Harrison Ford killed Greedo's actor for real and George Lucas has been puppeting him like Weekend and Bernie's ever since. Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, first night of Hanukkah. I'm gonna go ahead and do these other rooms and try to find items. It's much easier, I feel, not to get hit during the blue baby fight than it is to, to not get hit. Oh, you motherfucker. Than it is to not get hit on the Mega Satan fight. I'd love a Tears upgrade. I've gotten like 30 of them, but I keep cycling out of them. This room's gonna be the one that gets me. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop that. Oh, that's super good. I need to... Matter of fact, that's so good. I'm gonna do that. I don't give a shit about the Hagalaz rune. I'm gonna go drop this at the entryway to the Mega Satan fight, which is right here. Shit, I should have been hit there. I was looking the wrong direction. Oh, I should have been hit there too. I'm getting plumb lucky right now. Yeah. Sub 3 rate of fire has made this a real adventure. I wonder if I get to keep those stats. That was super worth it if black runing that means that I get to keep those stats forever. Oh, fuck this room. Okay. No, you don't get to jump over my bomb. This room scares me too. I mean, for crying out loud. There's a full unicorn horn, and I didn't get all of them. I got so lucky. I'm getting so lucky on a lot of these. Like, I don't want to sit here and try to oversell my abilities. Huh. Yeah, what could go wrong? I mean, really. Huh. I have flight. Huh. Huh. Like... huh. Well, I got euthanasia. Got money equals power. Is that mom's ring? It's a new one. Toothpicks. I got Curse of the Tower for what it's worth. Jesus. Oh, I didn't mean to pick that up. Whew. Yeah, I mean, sure. I still want to go drop this outside of the door. I don't want to carry this around. Here's a Jewish fun fact. Hanukkah in Israel and Hanukkah in America are very different. Hanukkah is actually a very minor Jewish holiday, but due to capitalism and it usually being the same time as Christmas, it was inflated to a much larger holiday. The gift giving of Hanukkah was never part of it. It was just done to make Jewish kids feel like they're getting treated equally as Christian ones. In Israel, the presents they give are like small food or a small amount of cash. I wish any of that surprised me. Alright, well, let's let it be what it is, I guess. And away! Yeah, no, I get that you're not complaining. I'm just saying, like, I wish any of that surprised me. I feel like I just generally assume that it's like, hey, have you ever wondered why something is the way it is? And I'm like, is it capitalism? And it's like, it's capitalism! I'm like, oh, okay. Ugh. Ha! I'm good. I was a little scared for a minute, but now I'm good. It appears to be a lot easier to aim if I had analog sticks and not a keyboard. The fuck? With you in a second. Go get him, Daddy Longlegs. Go get him, Little Horn. Tech 2, Tech 1, Tech 2. Interesting. It feels like it's working? God, Dumpy, I wish you'd stop throwing this guy's tears at me from weird angles. I get that you're trying to help. Guess we just do this forever now, huh? Oh no, this is going. Dumpy, stop helping! Some shit he does is way faster than other shit he does. Weird.
Someday, Bumbo, lucky Bumbo, someday the Bumbo is a bad Bumbo. Ich got corn.